Hello Aries, welcome to your September 2019 reading. Thanks for joining me. My name is Michelle and this is for Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Let's take a look at the fairy tale oracle firstly. You've pulled the card of Snow White. Now Snow White, of course we all know the tale of Snow White, and one of the deep themes of the story is about betrayal, being betrayed by those who we have come to know as family, who perhaps people who have come closer than any others before, and perhaps someone or people, more than one, that you have placed trust. The energy around this card is of being cast aside. Snow White, of course, was cast out, and there's a feeling here of rejection, of feeling hurt, and there's also a jealousy kind of element to this. It's like because you are perceived as some kind of threat to status, or a feeling of being a rival to someone, that they, through no fault of your own, I feel like this feeling around you has changed, and now this person or these people see you as an impediment to their own standing. Now around you, the energy is the Lady of Lightning. Now this speaks of surprises, sometimes shock, a total paradigm shift. It's coming up as an ally to the person that you're dealing with, and it brings powerful forces of change, a sudden shift in circumstances, something that you weren't anticipating arising. And having these kind of aha moments, that lightning bolt energy. So it seems to me this can flip out, so it can be vice versa. But around you there is this energy of someone having this total shift in thinking, and it may come as quite a shock. I've got that happening to you, Aries, but of course it could be you doing that to somebody else. Now the overall energy from the Queen of the Moon oracle is the waxing crescent moon, and this speaks of nourishment. Now when we choose to nourish mind, body and spirit and feed our values, there is a greater fulfillment, greater health. I see this as a health card, and what I'm getting around this is that it's all about having like values that are alike. Now values are of course individual, and they're individual as our fingerprints. Sometimes we're not even sure what they are if we're asked, but unconsciously we know. How do we know? Because if our values are not being met, we tend to get angry, sad, depressed, irritable or stuck. Or we make chaotic choices in our decision making, and commonly relationships and life are not harmonious. An example of this might be someone who has a strong value of honesty, being asked to lie as part of a job, like a sales job or something like that. Or perhaps someone who values peace, being surrounded by drama or loud energy, people who are the opposite of peaceful. So here it's really about nourishing body, mind and spirit by being with others that are like us in terms of values, our own values. So we'll see where this goes. It may be a question of health, improving health conditions by changing, by absolute change. Like I'm getting very shocking kind of tower moment change. So we'll see where this goes. It won't resonate with everyone, of course. It could be someone around you, Aries, as well. I've got you at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Swords, which is of course cutting out anything that is not working. It's getting to the absolute truth of the matter, and it is that epiphany, if you will, of what needs to go. The other person, I'll be using the Tarot de la Nuit, and they have the Death card at the bottom of that deck, which also signifies momentous change. So Aries, let's take a look what's going on here. I'll cut these cards and we'll start with past energy for you. You've got the Two of Swords in the reverse. Let's take a look at where you currently stand. Judgment in reverse. Where you hope to stand with this in the future, you've got the Four of Pentacles in the upright. How you're viewing this other person, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. Your doubts and fears, the Page of Wands in the upright. Challenge for you is the Knight of Swords in the reverse. And one card for the outcome is the Seven of Pentacles. Now let's take a look at the other person's energy. And we will start with their past energy. They have the Page of Swords in the upright. Where they currently stand, Temperance. Where they hope to stand with this in the future, we've got the Empress in the reverse. How they're viewing you, Aries, we've got the Tower. Let's take a look and see what their doubts and fears are. The Ace of Swords in the upright. Challenge for them, Four of Wands. And one card for the outcome is the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Okay. Of course, this can be vice versa, so whatever side resonates the most with you, Aries, that's your message. Let's take a look at some past energy. I've got you coming into this with the Two of Swords in the reverse. So I'm getting this as denial. I feel like this is denial. This is a situation that perhaps you have been closed off, not wanting to see, or there even may be an element of blocking your intuitive energy, a gut feeling that you had, perhaps that something was amiss, something was going wrong here. I've got them with the Page of Swords in the upright, so I do feel that there is this element around them of, I get testing times. They may even be trying to find out some information here before they take an action. I'm going to get one more card actually on their past energy for this other person. Past energy for the person that Aries is dealing with this Page of Swords. Okay, they have the Two of Swords in reverse. So you're mirroring each other there in the past energy. Yeah, you know, I feel like this is someone who has had that intuitive ping, those messages from their inner guide, their innermost understanding. But in the past they have ignored them, and I feel that just recently they have started to be more open to these messages that are coming through for them. And I'm getting it as they are looking at this. They are looking at what this means for them. They are readying themselves to make a decision, one that is going to be a very difficult one, I feel, because it's very torturous kind of energy that I feel. And I have you here as perhaps not wanting to see this or turning away from the messages that you are receiving, that something is happening to this other person. It could be a partner, it could be a family member or a friend. Now in the current energy where this currently stands, you have the Judgment card in the reverse. So again, I get this element of not wanting to see. Hearing this call that something is happening or about to happen, but not wanting to deal with it, not wanting to look at decision making, ignoring a decision that needs to be made. Now the other person has Temperance, so I do feel that they are someone here who is looking more towards a calm energy around them. They're trying to maintain the balance in their life, and they're not wanting to cause an upset. I do feel that there is this element around them of not wanting to deal with any kind of drama or any kind of things that I'm getting it as excessive in nature. So this is someone who wants everything to stay very even-keeled. Now, where you hope to stand with this in the future, we've got the Fool of Pentacles, Aries. So I do think that this is you trying to hold on to this, what you've built with this person. You feel like it's been hard fought for, hard won, and as a result, you don't want to let it go. Now, the other person has the Empress in reverse as their future energy. So let's see. Where does this other person hope to stand with this in the future? This Empress in reverse. Why is he? Okay. We've got the Three of Pentacles in the upright. You know, I do get that they want to, I get this as negotiation. They don't want to see you, I do feel that they care for you here, Aries, and they recognize that this is going to be a disappointment for you, and they're trying to, I feel like they're trying to keep you happy. Of course, that's a difficult thing, but it's kind of like they want to come to some kind of negotiation and agreement so that you are not too disadvantaged by a decision that I feel is coming here. So they're thinking to themselves, how can I work together with Aries to make them feel like they're getting something out of this, that this isn't going to be as great a loss as you imagine, because I get you definitely want to hold on to this. Now, you're viewing them, the Ten of Wands in reverse, so you do see them as someone who has been carrying around a burden for some time. You have recognized on some level that there's something this person needs to maybe get off their chest, or that they have taken on a very heavy kind of energy, something that they need to release themselves from in order to be lighter in spirit. You know, when I think of that nourishment and I think about health, I feel like this person's health may have suffered as a result of carrying around something that they feel has been very stressful for them. The stress may be showing up in terms of physical ailments. It may even relate to things like, when I think of nourishment, I think obviously food. You know, it could be something as literal as that. It could be a matter of becoming healthier, diet, healthier in mind, body and spirit. So you see them as someone who needs to make improvements there. Now, they are seeing you here, the Tower, so I'm getting that as this illumination with the Lady of Lightning here. Surprise, shock, something shocking, some kind of total shift in this relationship. So I'm going to get one more card on the Tower there. How is this? Okay, that one just jumped out at me. So for them, we have Judgment in the upright. So it's like they are suddenly realizing what needs to let go, what they need to surrender in their life, what they need to release. You know, I do feel when I look at this card, especially in this deck, you'll notice that the figure in the front here is in this very dark kind of forest, and it's very much that dark night of the soul kind of energy. The figure behind is this woman turning her back on that, stepping through this gateway and stepping out into a much brighter times, happier times. So I see that. I see that this person is needing to make a sudden change in their life. It seems sudden, but I have a feeling that this is something that has been thought about for a long time. ignored for a while, but then it got to a point where, like with the tower, I almost see this as a volcano kind of energy, where it was a build-up over time, and then suddenly something had to give, and I feel it was this tower moment where they realized they had to make a choice. And I think it has something to do with how they're feeling physically, mentally. Now for you, I've got the as your doubts and fears, the Page of Wands, and I do feel that that's you, Aries, your energy. You may be someone who is very young or young at heart. So there's a youthful vitality here. Now you're doubting yourself. That's how I see this. You're doubting yourself, but this, I feel very strongly. I look at this Snow White card, I see purity. So I'm feeling like there's this energy around this Aries of you doubting your strengths, what makes you unique. And I do feel, when we think of Snow White, we do think of a youthful kind of energy, an innocence, of course. So fearing being seen perhaps as someone who is rejected because of their youthful spirit or playfulness, something like that I'm picking up. Now you are a very loving individual. I do feel that you will survive a lot of testing times because of who you are, what you bring to the table. You're this very young kind of being good to all. It's like a triumph of the heart here. Nothing can affect you. Even if you feel rejected or attacked, or if you feel that someone is envious of your youth, of your vitality here, not letting that affect you. I feel that is something that you need not fear. It seems to be you're doubting yourself, but I get very strongly from Spirit, you need not fear your strength, even though you have this kind of playfulness around you. Now the other person's doubts and fears, they've got the Ace of Swords. So again, I feel like they have this current energy around them of cutting out what is not working for them in their life, but they also fear doing that. It's a big step. It is something that they can't go back on once they make this decision, once they reveal this. They're going to have to deal with the aftermath. With every decision that is made, there's consequences. And of course, the situation with you will never be the same again, Aries, once this shocking event happens. And of course, this won't be with everyone. It may be someone doing this to you. You could be doing it to someone, Aries. Or this may be someone around you that is going through this, someone that you're very close to. Now, Aries, for you, I've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse as your challenge. So yeah, it's having to make moves quite suddenly. Hastiness. Needing to make up your mind quickly as a result of a decision being made. So I feel for you that things are scattered. There's an erratic kind of energy, and for you, I feel the challenge is to slow down and try and get more clear in your mind about what the right moves are, because I get that you are going to be quite angry about this. Yes, I do feel that you'll be angry about this, Aries. And I think you're going to want to communicate your anger in quite a harsh way, but the message here is to kind of slow that down a little. Think before acting, think before speaking. Now the other person's challenge is the Four of Wands, so I feel for them with this card of nourishment, it's about finding out where they belong. It may be, they may have to move, there may be a house move here that needs to occur. They could be living with you, Aries. Now the outcome card for you is the Seven of Pentacles, so it's telling me that this is going to lead to a time where you're going to have to take stock. It's one of those moments in life where you're standing at this crossroads and you're thinking about, which way do I go from here? You know, you've put a lot of work into this relationship, whatever this is. It could be a love partnership, it could be family, or even a business partnership, but you're having to step back from this and take a look at the situation with different eyes. What's going to pay off for you in the long run, and what is what you should let go of, you know, what's worth holding on to and what you should release. So a time of reflection, a pause. I feel very strongly this is going to lead to a pause in the action, just so you can reflect on what to do next. The other person has the wheel in reverse, so it tells me that there's a blockage here. There may be you may be blocking them from moving forward, or they you. But we'll see where this goes in part 2, Aries. I hope that you join me. The link is below in the descriptions box, so that will be available on the Vimeo channel. It'll be about another 30 to 40 minute reading. I'll be clarifying everything on the table, and I'll also be pulling out some more oracles to see where this goes in the future. So Aries, if I don't see you there, I wish you all the best. If you would like a personal reading, you can email me, gypsyinsights@gmail.com, and that email is also in the box below. Wishing you the best here, Aries. I will see you in part 2, or I will see you very soon. Bye for now. Please take care.